my fellow readers. Today I'm going to be talking about Volume 1 of Chitose is in the Ramune battle. I don't know how to talk about this one. I guess I'll read the back and formulate my thoughts about talking about it. So this is, being popular isn't easy. It's hard to beat Saku Chitose, the most popular kid in his high school. Oh, question mark. Wait, okay. I have to read this a different way. It's hard to beat Saku Chitose, the most popular kid in his high school? Check. An ironclad reputation that can weather even vicious online attacks? Check. A group of friends as attractive on the outside as they are inside? Check. But when a teacher asks for his help bringing back a student who has been shut away in his room for months, Saku's perfect world will never be the same. What is this? Some kind of normie harem story? Is this some kind of normie harem story? Maybe. Geez, I have such mixed feelings about this book and potentially this series, because when this started, especially, I was like, roll my eyes, could not stand this main character, because Chitose does seem like kind of full of himself, and he's always like talking about the girls in his groups and like their boob size, and it's just annoying to me. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you're a guy and you play that thing out like you think that's so funny, like, I'm fine, it's fine, whatever. For me, as a woman, I roll my eyes at that, because, like, honestly, there's more to us women than our boob size. But I don't know. So when it started, I was roll my eyes. I'm like, oh, I don't think this is going to be for me at all. But there was something about once Chitose starts to interact with the shut-in that started to charm me a little. The story becomes more of a classic teen makeover movie type story, you know, where you have like the nerdy character and they work to bringing out, like, it's not that he can't be nerdy. Like, the character in here, he's really into like light novels and anime, and they don't tell him to stop liking light novels. In fact, Chitose also reads the light novels so that he has something to relate to the other character with, and discovers that he likes them. So it's not so much about that, but it's about accepting that that's okay, but also presenting your best self and caring for yourself and presenting yourself that way. And that was kind of okay with me. Like, I don't know, I started to like that. And his a lot of Chitose's friends are great. You know, was there a bit of an over-sexualization of the females in the group? Yes. I mean, this is definitely the target reader audience for this is definitely like a hetero cis male audience. It definitely is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay to have those differences. There's a lot of stories that are more targeted to girls like me. You know, women have their own stuff too, and that's fine. I personally am not really that into like boob humor and an over-sexualization of women. It's probably why I didn't really like Chainsaw Man. I didn't like the representation of the women in it. I didn't like how it was all pretty much they were sexual objects, and if they weren't just the sexual objects, they were also pretty terrible, either manipulative or just plain evil. And I just had an issue with that, because really, give me one good one, and don't mention Power, because she did the same thing. But anyway, on to this. I think it became a little bit less of a thing as the story kept going on, and it became more about who everybody was as a person. Not just the makeover character, which now I'm forgetting his name and I'm sorry, but it became more about how everybody actually was and behaved as a person. I still don't think that Chitose is the best person, but at the same time, he is someone that, even though he took on this begrudgingly and was like, well, we're going to have a deadline to where I'm no longer helping you to get out there and present yourself and make friends at that time. Like, our contract's over and you're on your own. Even though he does that, there is this development of friendship. And so the big twist at the end is what's going to happen with that relationship between the two of them. Are they going to stay friends, or is he actually going to ditch this guy? Which, if he just ditched him, would be a pretty jerk move. So it's like, let's see how much of a jerk Chitose is. And I'm not going to give that away because I think you got to know how much of a jerk Chitose is. And so, dang it, I liked it by the end. I was really drawn into the story. I wanted to see how the friends all adapted and switched and changed, and how the character did as he's, you know, getting his makeover and coming to understand like fashion, but also like retaining what he's interested in, and how can he communicate with other people and talk about what he's interested in, but not like come off in a bad light, I guess, with them. So I don't know. Yes, this is also harem. I don't know how it's going to work in the coming volumes. I don't know if there will be more about the harem-esque, or how it'll be with like interacting with other characters throughout the series. I have no idea. But as for volume 1, I did kind of end up liking it and would be willing to check out the next volume, because I thought it did end up being a pretty heartwarming story, and I like that. I like seeing people grow and become more of who they are, because you know, everybody has value, and it was pretty good. This is a newer series. Is volume 2 out now? I don't have it yet if it's out, but it is a newer series. I did enjoy this enough to check out the next one and see if I like the story that's told in that one as much as this one, or if it becomes more of like ecchi harem-esque. I don't know. I'm interested enough to see, because again, I liked this one. I liked the whole makeover plot. Like, it reads very much like one of those teen movies throughout the 80s and 90s, like where, you know, you have the dorky character and the cool kid, and the cool kid helps the dorky character get a makeover. Only, I think what I liked more about this than a lot of those movies is that they did kind of tell him that it was important to remain true to himself. It wasn't like he had to actually change himself. That, yeah, they would recommend a new haircut or certain clothes styles to try, but he also had to be who he was, because you can't really change that part of you. You wouldn't actually be happy. So I liked that aspect more here than how I think a lot of it is portrayed in like American movies and even television, where it's just like suddenly they have this makeover and they're just one of the cool kids, like they're not who they actually are. I don't know. But yeah, this was fun. I did enjoy this. Dang it. Didn't really want to, but I did. And I don't really have much more to say other than that. Like, I think if you want to try just kind of a light teen comedy-esque book, then grab Chitose is in the Ramune bottle, because it's pretty fun. You know, not perfect, but it was fun. And I enjoyed it a lot. That's it for this video. Until next time. Bye.